Well, hello and welcome to episode 46. It seems as though I can't even count anymore, as the last video posted was supposed to be episode 46, not 47. So the easiest thing to do is to make this episode 46. More mental decay. So, anyways, I happened to run into Jesus the other day and he told me to follow him. And I asked him, well, where are you going? Do you have a specific place in mind, a new restaurant or bar? I am kind of busy. Love is a battlefield, as the song goes. In my marriage to my dear wife, if you could label it, I would say that it's been a 100 round fight in which she has won 97 of those rounds, and she could have easily knocked me out in any of the last 60 or 70 rounds. But she wants me to stay alive. She needs the punching bag, which is me. But I really wish she would put me out of my misery and just end it. But she won't. So the battle will continue. And in continuation of this battle, I asked her on the same day, since it was springtime and we were getting ready for planting and preparing for the season, do you need any help with anything right now? And she said no, which is how she usually replies. So then I asked her, will you ever need my help for anything again? To which she replied no, without even looking at me. So this is my fate. There was a stand up comedian in the New Haven area years ago that we would catch at the Stags, or the term in today's world is a bachelor party. His name was Rennie Carl, and I recalled one of his clever lines, which he would say. He was this very large Italian guy, very energetic, a fast talker. So he would start by saying that Italians get a bad rap for being gangsters, gamblers, being very emotional, loud, but they don't realize that we're very artistic, cultured, sophisticated, creative, lovers of art, theater, music, and fine dining. And if you don't believe us, we'll put a frickin' bomb in your house. I imagine that everyone has done this sometime in their life. You know, when you say to yourself, I need to be a better person. I'm going to be that person every minute of the day for the rest of my life. I've probably said this to myself 1,000 times or more, and it doesn't last too long with me. On average, I'd say about 5 or 10 minutes before I get off. Something always happens that tests my mettle, and it's gone. I go into wacko mode. I can't deny it. I react to things. I'm glad that I eventually gave up this idea. It doesn't work, at least not for me. It's almost synonymous with someone deciding that I'm going to give up everything that I am and everything that I do and become a priest. And it's made my life easier by eliminating this idea of being the perfect person. Shoot, there have been times when I've said this to myself, and a minute later, I've totally forgotten this conviction, especially when you're married to a Spanish woman. There's a lot of fireworks in our house, and I wish my wife could be a part of these videos. My older cousin Richie, or Buzzy as we called him, since he was so energetic and wacky, played somewhat of a major factor in my life when I was young. Since he would offer advice and suggestions, and he, despite some of his craziness and selfishness, was a very talented guy. He raced cars for decades despite always lacking sponsors to support his racing, which is a very expensive undertaking. And he was involved with the theater and sang publicly, as his father also did for years. And he was very comical and unpredictable. And he once told me that I had a Roman nose that was roaming all over my face. But that was Buzzy. And unfortunately, we lost him back in December of 2018 at the age of 73. And I do miss him, since he was one of the few people that took me aside in my youth and spoke to me about my dreams and wishes. And he was the only person that I ever knew that encouraged me to write down my thoughts, which I actually started doing at 13. So you can blame all this on him. And I hope to see you again, Cousin Buzz. You want the truth, the real truth? Watch George Carlin's You Are All Diseased. He lays it all out and gets to the root of all our problems, because daily we buy into all the bullshit from certain people in government and the media. And he somehow makes it very comical, though what he's saying is not funny, but of course, very relatable. And it strikes a chord with humanity. This was his 11th HBO live broadcast, recorded on February 6, 1990, at the one and only Beacon Theater in New York City. It's a must see. All of his videos are a must see. I often wonder, when someone claims that I've never changed or that's so you, is that a compliment or an insult? I think it's probably more of an insult. I once heard someone say that when you come over our house, talk to the dog. He knows more than we do. And I will end here.